Thank you for tuning in to the second episode of Izze Eatz. I just want to take a moment and say thank you to everyone that's already viewing and giving me the views of my first episode. I appreciate it. Wasn't even expecting it to go that well. Today I'm at you with a chicken curry recipe. It's something easy, simple, nutritious, and you can use it for easy meal prep if you wanted to, or use it for your family or your kids or whatever. Put it in their lunches, send them away. It's better than school lunch. For this recipe, we will need zucchini, chicken thighs, and hopefully seasonings that you should have in your pantry. We'll get to that on a later episode about the fundamental seasonings you need to have in your pantry, okay? Because some people be out here under seasoning and not having anything. So I've taken two, medium-sized zucchinis. I've already cut those into little rings. But the main important thing you're going to be needing are the ingredients for the marinade. So this marinade is going to consist of 4 ounces of Greek yogurt, about a half a cup of olive oil and lime juice. And then for the seasonings, nothing too crazy. You're going to need some coriander, some ginger, turmeric, cardamom, star anise, garlic, and onion. And don't worry, I know you're probably like, what the heck, that's so much. But if you get your most, you can find this at most grocery stores, the generic, normal curry seasoning, it should have all those spices in there. And the only thing you'll need is like granulated onion, garlic, and cumin. For all those, I did about 2 tablespoons to 3 for the spices, and then for the salt, I for sure did 3 to 4 tablespoons. We'll make sure you're not under salt and stuff. And we'll get more precise for the measurements for people at home to be able to view, be able to simulate and recreate these dishes. So once you've gotten that marinade started and made, you take your chicken thigh. You can use chicken breast as well if you want to. You can want white meat instead of the dark meat. You'll have this beautifully seasoned chicken. If the color's not changing, you're not marinating, okay? You have this beautiful chicken. I highly recommend for you to do it overnight, but you can let it marinate for up to 6 hours. And then you'll need 1 cup of your favorite rice. I will say, me personally, my favorite 2 are basmati and jasmine. So we'll be using jasmine for this recipe. So real quick, we're going to take a second and teach the correct rice cooking method, technique, whatever you want to call it. So you might go out to restaurants and be like, wow, I can never get my rice right like that. It's individual rice granules. It's not sticky. It's not clumpy. It's properly cooked rice. One major thing that I see people, the critical area I see people doing, or not doing, I should say, is not rinsing their rice. So we've already taken 1 cup of basmati rice. You can put in a strainer, whatever is best for you. And we're gonna rinse that rice under cold water vigorously, all right? Just miss it. And what we want is for that water to not be cloudy. We want it to be clear. Once it's clear, that means we have rinsed off enough of the natural starches from the rice. The reason we don't want starches in our rice is because that starch, when it's mixed and cooks down, is the reason your rice becomes clumpy and sticky and nasty and just inedible, in my opinion. So rice is easy. Rinse. Water's looking clear. Good way to test it. If you want, get a glass. All right. Put it underneath. All right. Water's nice and clear. You'll see the difference between cloudy and clear. Now, let's cook. So we're going to be starting with the rice because technically that will be taking the longest because I want to be able to sit properly, which I will explain later on. So to 1 cup of water, we're going to add 1 cup of chicken stock. Rice is always a 2-to-1 ratio, 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of liquid. All right, but I want some flavor in my rice, not just water, so we're going to add in that 2nd cup. Grab your handy dandy cleaned and rinsed basmati rice. Dump that on in and bring this to a boil. Once you get it to a boil, we're going to drop that heat down to a low simmer, put a lid on it, and leave it alone. Quit touching everything. You ain't got to touch stuff. Sometimes things are just good on its own. To that, we're going to add a good little pinch of salt. And that's about it. Leave that and let that come to a boil. Rice is still getting up to that boil, so we're going to start on this zucchini and then we can put it off to the side. So the zucchini is an easy one. It's just a little bit of Worcestershire, oil, salt, pepper. Nothing crazy. We're just going to place those flat side down. They're going to yell at you. They're going to spark a little bit, but don't worry. It won't hurt you. For about 5 minutes to sweat out, get some of that moisture out. And then we're gonna go from there. Oh, this motherfucker's in my trash. Hey, my guy, can you stop going through my trash? We caught you here. Crap. Rice has came to a boil, so we're gonna drop that down to a low simmer. And then put that lid on and just leave it. Hey, there's a person. So, technical difficulties. Got a little sidetracked, okay? Dumpster divers were attacking. I had to put that fire out. So, zucchini's already seared and nice, looking nice on one side. We went ahead and flipped and then did a good little salting to it. I'll say about, let's say, 2 teaspoons of salt. Nothing too crazy. You don't want to overpower it, nothing to saturate salt. Rice is still in that nice simmer slowly, doing its thing. Our zucchini is about done, and then we're gonna cook up that chicken. We're gonna fully in-depth show you how to finish up your rice, and then we're gonna do some plating. So zucchini's done. We're just gonna set that off on the plate and put that inside of Chef Mike to sit. I hate using Chef Mike, but if we need to, we can easily do a little heat up with that one. 30 seconds to a minute. Zucchini's back to normal. Rice is still going, almost done. In the same skillet, you don't have to change pans, okay? We're gonna start cooking that chicken. So we're gonna add a little bit more oil. Just enough to add to it to coat the bottom. And then with this one, we wanna pick up a nice good coloration on that chicken. A nice good sear on it. So, still on medium heat. Give it a second for your oil to heat back up. You can't wait until you see those whispers of smoke. I'm not talking about it looks like a vape cloud is coming off your pan. Then you're just gonna, anything you put in there, you're burning your house down. Okay, little whispers of smoke is all you need. Look at it at an angle, you know. Give it a full 360. Check it out, make sure it's looking good. Then take your chicken. If you have skin on it, skin side down. I did the good old skinless. You take your chicken, skin side down. Pat it so it can fully adhere to the skillet. And if you don't hear that sizzle, you ain't cooking. It ain't hot enough. Okay, it needs to be hot. Alright? Before you add in another piece of your chicken, you're gonna wait a second, because if you add it in prematurely, you're gonna drop the heat of that skillet too fast and you won't be able to pick up a good sear, coloration on that skillet. So give it a few seconds to heat back up, and then we go in with that other chicken thigh. Second piece of chicken thigh going in. See how you hear that good old sizzle? Now there's a few reasons I like to recommend chicken thighs when cooking it and for people to cook with, because chicken thighs are pretty resilient, okay? They allow for you to mess up a little bit if you need to, overcook a little bit and still be nice and juicy. So it's a good way to introduce people to properly cooking chicken without overcooking it. Some of these people out here, chicken dry as hell, bro. You be needing water after it. So we're gonna let that chicken cook on one side for at least 3 to 4 minutes. We're gonna flip it again and get coloration on the other side. Look at that. Rice is done. Now, anytime your rice is done, you don't touch it. You don't lift that lid. You leave the lid and the rice alone. Now, this process of the rice, it has to, in a sense, steam, fluff the rice, get nice and fluffy and cooking the rest of the way. Leave the rice alone for another 5 to 10 minutes. I would prefer 10 minutes until all that steam has evaporated. Then you go in and you fluff it with a fork. And what that means is that you quite literally go in and you just move it around, get some, add in there and fluff it up. And if you're wondering where I got my hat at, you can visit and get merch from my boy's website, Noah's Closet on Instagram. He's also on Facebook. I think he's on Poshmark. Boy got some good ventures. Where? Check him out. Nice little coloration. Alright, we got some color on that chicken. We're gonna do a little flip. Got to go to my basement. Now that we've done that coloration we wanted on our chicken, we're gonna hit the bottom of that pan to get all those scrapings, the fond, or the flavor bits off the bottom. We're gonna take about 2 ounces of chicken stock. The pan's gonna fight back. It's gonna yell. And let that mix. Take your spatula, whatever you got handy, and just scrub that bottom, getting up all those little bits and pieces, those brown pieces. What we're gonna do is reduce this down a little bit and kind of use it kind of like a sauce for the top of the chicken. Not adding any extra salt or anything other than what we put in the marinade. What was it? She messed up my Ariana Grande shirt. So everything should be nice, cooked and beautiful. So here we are with the plating. We're gonna take about a half a cup of rice or more, because I know micros and carbs and everything else, if you're using this for meal prep. In there, take that beautiful chicken thigh, lay it right up top. Take the drippings we made, that little sauce from the pan, right on top of it. All right, a little bit on the rice if you want to. I nuked the zucchini again for about 30 seconds at good old Chef Mike. All right. Then finish it with a nice little bit of cilantro. Easy, and there you have it. Curry chicken with a nice zucchini. I don't know how it is. Oh, pretty good. Did you just pick back up?
It's just so good, bro.
What's that?
It was good as fuck, bro.
For watching Izze Eats. Show me much love. We're out of here faster than Diddy when the FBI raided him.